ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello there, welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Gift Ogete. In our major story, Taraba State lawmakers set up a medical panel to verify the health condition of its ailing governor, Dambaba Suntai. Also in this program, President Goodluck Jonathan storms Lagos alongside PDP bigwigs for political rally promises to win Lagos in 2015. Unnamed negotiator reveals there was talks between federal government and Boko Haram on swap deal to free abducted Chibok schoolgirls. And outside Nigeria, over 66,000 refugees flee into Turkey from Syria as fighting intensifies between Islamic militants and government forces. Thanks for staying tuned with us. It's CoreTV News Primetime Weekend Edition. The Taraba State House of Assembly has set up a medical panel to verify the health condition of its ailing governor, Dambaba Suntai, who has been out of the country for treatment abroad. He returned from the United Kingdom after weeks of further treatment of the injuries he sustained when his plane crashed near Yola, Adamawa State on August 25th, 2012. There were rumors that Suntai was rushed back to the country because of the People's Democratic Party governorship primaries, after which he would return abroad for medical attention. The governor, however, said he was not contesting the primary or any election at the moment. There were also reports that President Goodluck Jonathan paid a brief visit to Suntai at the guest house of Theophilus Danjuma in Abuja and later left for Aso Rock accompanied by Danjuma. A statement by the Speaker of Taraba State House of Assembly, Joshua Sabo Kente, obtained by journalists on Saturday in Abuja, named Balashewu as chairman. Other members are Insa Smaila, Peter Alabi, Shehu Sule, and personal physician to Suntai, Hamed Kara. The immediate past president of Nigerian Medical Association, Osaho Nabulele, has been agitating that the association should be allowed to offer free medical investigation into the true state of health of Suntai, who was injured in the plane crash. Coming from a recent wholesome endorsement of President Goodluck Jonathan, the People's Democratic Party says it is ready to take over the southwest states and other states across Nigeria in the forthcoming 2015 general elections. The party staged a Southwest Sensitization Unity Rally at the popular Tafawa Balewo Square in Lagos. Oluwaseyi Adegoke was there. She brought back this report.
A mammoth crowd gathered for the rally, which had in attendance the big wigs of the People's Democratic Party, including President Goodluck Jonathan, whose presence in Lagos heightened security presence in and around the state. Vice President of Nigeria, Namadi Sambo, did mince words on the achievements of the present administration, which he described as a good sign for the country.
There is no doubt that from what I have seen today is a confirmation of the deep appreciation of the successes in Mr. President's achievement of the transformation agenda. Mr. President, I will seize this singular opportunity to also thank you for what you are giving to the people of the Southwest. We thank you very much.
Chairman of the People's Democratic Party Governors Forum, Godswill Akpabio, who had recently led his colleagues in the party to champion and endorse the second-term project of Jonathan, says the party is ready to bring more governors outside its field to work for the People's Democratic Party's success at the 2015 general elections.
To pay solidarity to our great faithfuls, to the supporters who have remained dedicated, who have remained committed, despite the fact that some of the states here do not have PDP governors. Our brother Ayo Fayose, who has just spoken to us here, we are saying that we will use him as a nucleus to bring more PDP governors to the Southwest.
For his part, National Chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Adamu Muazu, declares that the party is battle-ready for 2015 general elections and nothing short of victory will be the reward for Jonathan's administration for what he claimed the president has achieved for the country.
I want to assure you that Southwest has been PDP, but under very serious judicial process, we lost 3 states, and I want to assure you that we have started recapturing our states, starting with the Ekiti state. By the grace of the Almighty God, I assure you, in the next election of 2015, we will not only recapture our own states that have been taken over by the opposition, but indeed, as I always tell my friend, Governor Fashola, we are coming.
The man of the moment, in whose primary interest the rally was initiated, President Goodluck Jonathan, and who is still bathing in the euphoria of his recent endorsement by the PDP Board of Trustees, Governors and its National Executive Council, says his administration is on course and will surmount all challenges, no matter how heavy.
The idea of the rally is to bring the family together, for us to reason together, for us to see our faces, for us to dance and clap and sing, so that we know that we belong to one family, one PDP family, the largest political party in the continent of Africa. We promise that we'll transform Nigeria. We promise that we'll make changes. We promise that we'll never go back. And for us to do that, we need all Nigerians to work with us.
The promise to win notwithstanding, political observers say the PDP should wait for the ultimate deciders to speak through the choice at the 2015 general elections.
There is an Ebola virus epidemic in some West.
Negotiation has told CNN that Nigerian government officials and the International Committee of the Red Cross have had talks with Boko Haram about swapping prisoners of the dreaded terror group Boko Haram for more than 200 Chibok schoolgirls kidnapped in April. The officials met 4 times in mid-August with 2 senior members of Boko Haram in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. The swap would involve the release of 30 Boko Haram commanders in the custody of the Nigerian government, according to the source, who asked not to be named due to the sensitivity of the issue. Boko Haram submitted a list with the names of 30 members who were either convicted or awaiting trial on terror offences. According to the source, the 2 Boko Haram negotiators assured the ICRC and government negotiators that the girls were never raped, were never used as sex slaves, and were never sexually assaulted. The terror group abducted an estimated 276 girls in April from a boarding school in Chibok, Borno State. Dozens escaped, but more than 200 are still missing. The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps has approved 7 new private security outfits. Commandant General
There is an Ebola virus epidemic in some
NSCDC Ade Aboluri presented licenses to the new operators, but threatened to sanction any of them found involved in unwholesome practices. He also encouraged the new outfits to help stamp out kidnapping, pipeline vandalism, and other forms of crime from the society.
So now that we are now in this position, let's cooperate maximally and be able to save Nigeria, to reduce drastically crimes and all these vices of insecurity. I believe by looking at you that you have served diligently and that you can still do your best to ensure that Nigeria of our dream, that will be at peace, can still be attained. We reduce to its barest minimum criminality in all these sectors of the economy. And whether the prison have more inmates or not, it's not our concern. Our concern is to ensure that we rid off criminality and to ensure that we have, sustainable growth of our economy and that we drive away vandals.
The recent claim by Amnesty International that Nigeria's human rights record is fraught with torture through the activities of the nation's police has received the backing of a public and political affairs analyst. The analyst Dikbo Olayokun and Ebonla Martins, who featured on our flagship program Core Digest, derided Nigeria police for lying over what is evidently seen in their cells across the country. Olayokun particularly advised the police to build on criticisms rather than finding a way to put up unnecessary defense, while Martins attributed the problem to what he described as the failure of the Goodluck Jonathan's administration.
One of the reasons why this country is in this position is because we delude ourselves so much with self-denial. Things that we are saying, they will tell us, no, it's not like that. That's what the fella called the government magic. They turn green into blue. We are journalists. We are Nigerians. We visit police stations. I don't know if you can just take it upon yourself. As you are leaving this place, go to a journalist police station. Ask to see the people in detention. My dear brother, you will marvel at the state of these people in police detention. Yoruba people say once you know a mad person knows he's sick, he is half cured. It's like the police don't know that there's a problem, and that is the problem that we have with this issue. For Ojukwu to have come out to say Amnesty is lying, but we always witness this thing in and around Nigeria.
Our problems has to do with bad leadership, because when the head is corrupt, it comes down. And this is one of the reasons why I have been advocating that all Nigerians should immediately, without delay, vote out PDP. The reason is very simple. Today, Ghana has become a country that all over the world they are highly respected. They are respected not because they are called Ghanaians or they are called Ghana as a country. They are highly respected because all over the world they are now aware that if any party federally is not doing well, the people vote them out. So for the past few years, you can count how they have been changing the parties. The president that wins this time may not even be the president that wins next time. So everybody now is aware, if you are the president, you and your cabinet, you are aware that if you could not do well, you're going to be voted out. So now they know that in Nigeria, the party called PDP is aware that either we do it right or we do it wrong, we are still going to be there, so it doesn't matter. We owe no allegiance to the people. We only owe allegiance to some very few people, and that's it. And that is one of the reasons why we are where we are.
It's the weekend edition of CoreTV Primetime News. We take a break. When we return, cry over scarcity of petrol. Find out why Abuja residents need the help of DPR. Stay with us.
There is an Ebola virus epidemic in some West African countries. The Nigerian government wants you to be aware and watch out against the spread of Ebola in your community. Help keep our country safe and watch out for severe cases of fever, headaches, diarrhea, chest and abdominal pain, sore throat, cough, red eyes and bleeding from the eyes, ears and nose, especially when these symptoms are found in persons coming into Nigeria from other West African countries. Protect yourself Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water or use a hand sanitizer. Avoid contact with the blood, urine, feces or saliva of animals like bats, monkeys, gorillas, chimpanzees or infected persons. The Ebola virus is deadly. Don't catch it. Don't spread it. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
Good to have you stay on with us. It's CoreTV Prime Time News. Residents of Abuja have appealed to the Department of Petroleum Resources to monitor the distribution of fuel in the metropolis following the return of long queues that has been observed at filling stations across the Federal Capital Territory. The residents complain of being on the queue for more hours on ending with no hope of accessing the product. The long queues, which is directly linked to the strike of oil workers over the management of their pensions, was resolved after oil workers under the aegis of the Petroleum and National Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria and National Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers met with the Petroleum Minister Diziani Alison Madueke on Friday. The residents, however, link the unavailability of the product to hoarding and have asked the DPR to investigate the cause of the scarcity. A Zimbabwean opposition politician is among at least 80 people who died in the synagogue church building collapse in Lagos a week ago. Greenwich Ndanga was the Movement for Democratic Change provincial chairman for Mashonaland West. Most of the victims were South Africans who were staying in the multi-story guest house belonging to the Synagogue Church of All Nations, presided over by popular TV evangelist T.B. Joshua. More than 130 people survived, including one South African woman who was pulled from the rubble on Monday, 3 days after the building collapsed. Ndanga's death has been confirmed by his family and party officials. MDC spokesman Douglas Wongzora says he was a pastor and was in Nigeria and church business. The second phase of the Rural Access to Mobility Project has been flagged off in Osun State by Governor Ralph Aregbesola. The project, which is sponsored by the World Bank, French Development Agency, the federal and Osun State government, is driven at opening the rural areas to economic activities. Rashid was there. He brought back this report.
Statistics from the Osun State Ministry of Works revealed that 75% of road network are in the rural areas. This has made rural development a priority for the Aregbesola administration. Launching the second phase of the Rural Access and Mobility Project in Iraipetu, Special Advisor to the Governor, Kunlegi, submits that the government is committed to rural development.
Sustenance of access into rural areas is one of the key objectives of RAP. This is based on the attainment of all weather and all year-round pliable roads and mobility system. Let me say that your coming to this program is not by accident, but it is due to your importance in the scheme of RAP.
The country director of RAMP, Ubandoma Ularam, and the representative of World Bank, Muhammad Esakali, commends the strive of the state government in making rural areas economic hub, particularly in its stellar performance in the first tranche of TRAMP, which gave Osun the opportunity to be considered first in the second phase.
To the communities, these are your roads. Osun State is like a body, and the roads are like the blood vessels. So take care of these roads the way you take care of yourself, of your families, of your kids, and of your relatives.
It is our conviction that rural roads hold the key to the transformation of the rural communities. As such, strategic efforts must be geared towards ensuring that most states of the Federation understand this and embrace the RAMP approach to addressing challenges of poor rural transport infrastructure in the country.
Flag of the construction is
Aregbesola laments neglect of rural areas over the years, but averred that proactive steps of his government's support of projects like RAMP will make Osun people smile again.
With the development of agriculture, the festering canker of hunger, unemployment, poverty, poor education can be dealt with. However, indispensable to this agricultural revolution program is according necessary development attention that have long been denied to our rural areas.
The second phase of the Rural Access Project covers 225 kilometers of roads spread across 4 zones in the state. This will also provide initial employment for rural dwellers through ramp construct and road maintenance gangs. Rashid, CoreTV News, Irai B2, Oriade Local Government Area, Osun State.
It's CoreTV Primetime News. We take another break and be back with business and sports. Stay with us.
There is an Ebola virus epidemic in some West African countries. The Nigerian government wants you to be aware and watch out against the spread of Ebola in your community. Help keep our country safe and watch out for severe cases of fever, headaches, diarrhea, chest and abdominal pain, sore throat, cough, red eyes and bleeding from the eyes, ears and nose, especially when these symptoms are found in persons coming into Nigeria from other West African countries. Protect yourself. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water or use a hand sanitizer. Avoid contact with the blood, urine, feces or saliva of animals like bats, monkeys, gorillas, chimpanzees or infected persons. The Ebola virus is deadly. Don't catch it. Don't spread it. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
It's CoreTV Primetime News, Weekend Edition. Welcome back. Now to business. The management of the Central Bank of Nigeria has approved an industry-wide incentive scheme and awareness campaign for electronic payment. The scheme is primarily focused to reward users of electronic payment in Nigeria and to further encourage greater adoption by all. The incentive scheme will reward and appreciate usage across all channels, with emphasis on channels of electronic payment that promote financial inclusion. The scheme will reward the following categories of users, including customers, merchants, and salespersons. The incentive scheme and awareness campaign is designed as a white label campaign in which all stakeholders are required to partner. Financial leaders of the group of 20 top economies remain committed to chasing higher global growth, but were divided on how to achieve it as Germany pushed back at calls from the United States and others for more immediate stimulus. Opening a meeting of G20 finance ministers and central bankers, Australian Treasurer Joe Hockney outlined on Saturday an ambitious agenda of boosting world growth, fireproofing the global banking system and closing tax loopholes for giant multinationals. The goals seemed ever more distant as members from China to Japan, Germany and Russia have all stumbled in recent months. Just this week, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development slashed its growth. U.S. Treasury Secretary Jack Lew called for the Eurozone and Japan to do more to boost demand and revive activities, singling out Germany as having scope to do much more. And now sports. The Nigeria Football Federation is to hold elections into a new board on September 30 in Warri, Delta State. This was the outcome of NFF's extraordinary Congress in Warri, A communique issued at the end of the meeting also showed that the Congress set up a new 10-member electoral committee headed by Samson Ebome. NFF's General Secretary Musa Hamadu was named as the secretary of the committee. It also constituted an electoral appeals committee with Mohammed Sanusi as secretary. In addition, the Congress noted that only delegates that attended the November 2013 Annual General Assembly in Warri would participate in the elective Congress. Substitute Papius Chise saved the day for Newcastle and under fire manager Alan Pardew with 2 goals to end a 2-2 draw with Hull City at St. James Park. Pardew, whose position has come under increasing scrutiny in recent weeks, looked to have been pushed closer to the exit as Hull poured into a 2-0 lead in the second half. Nikika Jelavic opened the scoring with a stunning scissor kick in the 48th minute before Mohamed Diem's power driver from outside the box, just as Cisse was preparing to come on, saw the home fans turn their anger towards Pardew and honour Mike Ashley. But the Senegal striker, who has been out since April with a serious knee injury, drilled a low shot below Alan McGregor at his near post to reduce the deficit in the 73rd minute. And with just 3 minutes remaining, Chise was on hand to smash home from close range after Yon Govran had headed Moussa Chisoko's deep cross back into the 6-yard box. Fans arriving at the St. James Park were provided with placards urging Ashley to dismiss Pardew, although the owner had earlier indicated privately that there would be no knee-jerk reaction to the current situation. Officials say some 66,000 Manly Kurds have crossed into Turkey as state militants advance in northern Syria. Turkey opened its border to Syrians who had fled the Kurdish town of Kobani in fear of militant attack. Activists say some 300 Kurdish fighters have crossed into Syria from Turkey to help defend the strategic town. SS militants controls large areas of Syria and Iraq and has seized dozens of villages around Kobani, also known as Al-Arab. Turkey, which shares a border with Iraq and Syria, has taken in more than 847,000 refugees since the uprising against Syrian President Bashar al-Assad began 3 years ago. Turkish Deputy Prime Minister confirmed that 45,000 refugees had crossed the border within a 24-hour period. On accompanying the refugees, he says no country in the world can take in 45,000 refugees in one night, bring them here unharmed and find them a shelter without a problem. The UK-based Syrian Observatory for Rights says at least 300 Kurdish fighters had joined Kurdish ranks in the Kobani area to find off the ISIS advance, and the activist group did not specify which Kurdish group the fighters belong to. Gordon Brown says promises made by the No parties ahead of the Scottish independence referendum on change and further devolution will be delivered. The former Prime Minister said it was time to move from the battleground to the common ground after a majority in Scotland voted no to leaving the UK. The SNP said a pledge to present a motion on more powers to Parliament on Friday had already been broken. Politicians in England and Scotland are considering how the UK will be governed in the future. In a speech, Brown described the 3 lock-ins, which he said demonstrated that pre-referendum promises would be kept. And that's our show for tonight. On behalf of the entire news crew, I am Gift Ogette wishing you a very good night rest. Good night.